Hey guys, it's Ryan Raymond here, and tonight we're going to talk about Q4 and what it means for your print on demand merch by Amazon business. And a lot of you guys send me a message. I don't understand what Q4 is, what does Q4 mean, and how it's going to impact your business. So hopefully tonight I can answer some of those questions for you. So just as a simple overview, Q4 is the fourth quarter of the fiscal year. It begins October 1st and it goes through December 31st. It's the last 3 months of the year, which in the US is historically and not even historically, factually, the biggest shopping time of the year. You're going to get your most sales in Q4 each year between October 1st and December 31st. Now, that does not mean that you're necessarily going to see this massive spike of sales on October 1st. We're already starting to see it a little bit here in September, but it's going to keep growing throughout the year. So we're going to jump into my dashboard and I'm going to show you guys last year's sales, and we're going to discuss three important dates: Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Green Monday. Green Monday is an important one, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So stick with me, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit that like bell so that YouTube shows this to more people. Otherwise, it kind of gets hidden. All right, let's look at the desktop here. So just jumping in here, looking at my sales for today, we're at 6 sales so far today, 13 yesterday, 85 total for this month here. So starting to see some pickups. Not quite where I was hoping I'd be, but I'm still very happy with it because it's way better than it was last September for me. So um, the other thing I wanted to do here is we're going to look at the all-time sales in the US. So it's starting to search back, and it's going to go back to July of 2018, my first year, my first month that I started Merch by Amazon. And I'm currently at tier 4,000. So in 14 months, I've made tier 4,000. So let's look at how the sales went throughout Q4 last year. I started in July, I had 85 sales. August and September each took a dip, 40 and 48. So there was a significant, I did about 30 shirts in September, in July there for my family reunion. And then, so those 30 some sales dipped off. And then I had a couple of lower months there in August and September. So it's normal to be seeing some slower sales this time of year, guys. Don't panic. It's okay. Also, the more Q4 cycles you go through, the more likely you are to have more shirts available to sell, because it's going to be the greatest opportunity to get some sales. Then you can see in October I had 103 sales, and then November was 98, and then 341. And you might be saying, well, Ryan, that's not a big jump. It's a double. That is double what it was the previous months. So that's important to remember, guys. It's going to keep going. But if this is your first Q4, you're not really going to see a big uptick until more in December, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here when we discuss the three important days. So let's change from monthly to daily, and let's look at these sales. All right, let me pull up a calendar here quick, see if this will work. There we go. That kind of works. Let's see. So if I looked back last year and just kind of looked at some of these dates, if we look at October, there isn't a big holiday shopping day in October. There's, Halloween is going to be some good opportunities this month, and I'd recommend that you do try and get a few Halloween shirts, but that trend is going to die down, and if all you have is Halloween, you're going to be hurting when November comes around. So come here. We're going to look at the first day, Black Friday. Last year was November 23rd. It was my first day on there. So let's look at what November 23rd looked like last year. So for me, November 23rd was 4 products sold, which was pretty cool. That was a good day in comparison, but it wasn't a big, massive uptick that a whole bunch of people were expecting to see. In fact, then the next important date to remember is the following Monday, which is known as Cyber Monday. That is the biggest online shopping day. So Black Friday, guys, if you're not aware of it, Black Friday is it's historically the day that companies finally turn profitable for the year. Granted, most of them are pretty profitable with their investors holding them accountable throughout the year. But Black Friday is a massive sales day in the US. It starts Thursday of Thanksgiving, sometimes at 6 p.m., or they've even extended it to a whole week. And it's sales, but they're not really, everything you can get there is made to be really cheap for those sales, like TVs for $100 and stuff like that. And most of the time they're right at the end of a cycle, those types of TVs you can get, and you're going to get them for those prices throughout the year, the rest of the year anyway. But it's a sales tactic and it drives a lot of sales. I didn't see a huge uptick with it last year on Merch by Amazon, and I remember a lot of people saying that they didn't see as big of an uptick on Black Friday as they expected, but that's because most people are going to physical brick and mortar stores. Now, the next day to remember is Cyber Monday. It is traditionally the kickoff of the online shopping season. That's an important one for us to remember. So let's look at that. That Cyber Monday is started. So last year it was the 23rd for there. So we're looking for November 26th. So let's look at November 26th for me. It was 4 sales as well. There was about $20 in sales there. So Black Friday and Cyber Monday were all kind of the same for me. And I didn't really see an uptick. And I kind of stayed at this 4 or 5 sales a day. And then you're going to see a big jump here. All of a sudden I had 10. December 2nd came around and sales started popping for me. It started to jump up. I doubled my sales day that day. I went to 10 on December 2nd. So going into December, sales are going to be really ramping up there. People are getting close to the end of their shopping season and they're going to be wanting to make purchases. Now there's one more day that's really important to remember in December, and that's what we call Green Monday. It is traditionally the largest online shopping day of the year. It's not as talked about as Cyber Monday, because if everyone waited until Green Monday to push their sales, they would have held out on all that extra shopping. But human behavior says the second Monday of December is one of the biggest shopping days of the year. It's just that 2 weeks right before Christmas and everyone's scrambling to get their gifts. So make sure that you're going to leverage that. So let's look at what I did last year on Green Monday. So December 10th, 20 sales. And then the next day was 17 sales and $64. So Green Monday was $67.29 and 20 products sold. The next day I had $75 in royalties. The next day was 17. And then the 13th, that Thursday, was my biggest day of sales with 32 products sold and $117 in royalties. Now, that has almost maintained the biggest sales I've had until I've had a couple of 30 higher days in total sales this summer. But as far as royalties, no day has yet beaten December 13th for me. So, and then it starts dying right back down. You'll see this massive drop off right after December 13th, December 14th, and then the sales just crashed right down here going into Christmas. And then they picked back up for me in January. I know a lot of people didn't get this extra January bump, but it did for me. So I think that one of the things that you guys should really remember is the more times you go through these cycles, the more time opportunity you're going to have shirts that are going to continue to sell, or products if you're not doing merch. This doesn't apply directly to just merch. This is for anyone selling things online. Plan for those few weeks to be basically from Black Friday through the week of that Green Monday, that second week of December. That's when you need to have your listings optimized for. That's when you need to have everything perfect for. Because if something's not going to sell during that 2 to 3 week period, it's probably not going to sell ever if it's an evergreen topic. Otherwise, you know, your Valentine's Day shirts and stuff like that, they're not necessarily going to sell. They might, but unless you are ready to kill it at that time, don't wait. Get ready, get your listings filled up, get your listings optimized, work on your keywords, and be ready. Halloween shirt just sold. One of my best sellers from last year is starting to take off. All right, guys. With that said, make sure you subscribe, give a like, and drop a comment down there and let me know if you have any questions, or if I haven't quite answered something that you're looking for. The other thing is there should be a little icon here of my face. It'll be like right around here somewhere, and then there's gonna be a video. If you click the face, that will subscribe you to the channel. click this video right about here. Should be my most recent video. And then this one is a recommendation from YouTube. With that, guys, have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 2 videos in one day. We'll see how YouTube likes that. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.